Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. What we're going to do today is bring in our data into R and work with it. Okay, so extraction, transformation, visualization, step one. So the very first thing that we're going to do is utilize this function called library to bring in some tools that we're going to eventually use. First is going to be dplyr. Okay, and then we're going to create some visualizations, and that requires us to use library ggplot2. Okay, I like to put these in the beginning of my code so that I can work with it later. The next thing that I need to do is actually bring in, where is it? Right here. Bring in this IMDb genres. I need to bring in this actual data set into R. So the way I do that is by saying movies underscore df minus for me to then do read.csv, because this is a CSV file, .csv, sorry. And then I'm just going to type IMDb genres, and it shows up. I'm looking good. Okay, so all I have to now do is press this play button, and I now have my data, which was in a CSV, now into R, called movies underscore df within the environment. So when I click this, I get all my information about my movies. Cool. Okay, so we have genre, title, description, so on and so forth. Well, that's not the purpose of this video. The primary purpose is for us to learn different ways to manipulate our actual data frame once it's in R, like movies underscore data frame currently is. So what we're going to now do is be able to say, let's say for example, I'm only going to work with title, year, and genre. So title, year, and genre. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select those columns. So my idea would be to do movies. Selected data, DFs. Okay, and then I'm gonna select movies, DF, and then what I'm gonna now do, is utilize the select function from the movies data frame and get title, year, and I said genre. Okay, genre. Okay, so now when I run this, I will now have those three variables. So let's see. So we have 1,000 observations and 3 variables. If I click this, I now see title, year, genre. Great. Fantastic. What I'm going to now do is, what year will be nice and interesting is to see how many years has each movie been in existence. So this year is 2024. So I'm going to take 2024 and subtract this number from or to 2024. Sorry if I didn't say that correctly. And so what I'll do is I want to take selected data frame. I'm going to save this as transformed df alt minus, and I'm going to utilize this function called mutate. So mutate allows me to create a new variable within my data frame. Okay, so I'm going to say mutate, and then I'm going to use age. That's going to be the new variable name. Age is equal to 2024 subtract year, and this is going to tell me how old each movie is. Sorry, I forgot to do movies. This is good. So if you get errors, you figure out why it doesn't exist or why you get an error is because I didn't pass in my selected data frame. Okay, so selected underscore df, comma, now this should work. Now you can see transform data frame has a new column, for the fourth one, representing the age of the actual movie. Okay, that's great. So what I can now do is create a histogram. I'm going to create a histogram of, I said year, I'm actually going to turn this to age. Okay, which is, it works the same way, but I think it would be nice for us to look at a histogram regarding the age. So what we're going to do is, and this is where we're now using ggplot to create our visualization. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say ggplot. Yeah, as you can see, it automatically shows up. I'm going to give it my data frame, transform data frame, comma. There's something called aesthetics, and it's abbreviated by AES, and that's essentially just the X and Y axes of our visualization. So I'm going to say AES and provide X to be our age, okay? And then I'm going to add, okay, I'm going to add a layer to it, and that's when I use this thing called genome histogram. Genome histogram, okay? So we can run this. We don't get an error. Okay, good. And so this is what our actual distribution of our data looks like in terms of the age. Okay. A lot of newer movies. I mean, that's interesting. Okay. One would argue this is potentially skewed right. But the frequency of our data is not as frequent as we'd like it to be. When it comes to, we actually specify the bin size, the number of bins. Let's say we made it 20. This should look very interesting. It wasn't able to create those 20 bins. It's not 20 bins, but that's fine. We could also change the bin width to be, let's say, 10. And so this now gives you a different version of the histogram. So you can see you can play with the actual histogram to get a certain visual. Okay? So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching and have a good day.